I've installed the Formidable Pro plugin on the website, and one of the things I try to do is not have too many plugins that aren't necessary, and I do use quite a lot of plugins. And at the moment I've got on this website a plugin called Contact Form 7, and it basically produces this contact form on the site so that people can contact me. Now, two things. Firstly, Formidable Pro is a forms plugin, so I don't need Contact Form 7. And secondly, a couple of people have mentioned they've had problems trying to send a message to me through this contact form, so I have no problems getting rid of it. Now, this contact form is created from a page, and I have a contact form set up in Contact Form 7, and you just post in the shortcode for that particular form. Now, I want to show you quickly. I'm going to delete the Contact Form 7 plugin, and I'm going to show you how to create a contact form with Formidable Pro. So let me just deactivate Contact Form 7, and I'm going to delete it. Now, when I delete it, my contact form isn't going to work anymore. So let's go over there and refresh and see what happens. It could be cached, so it may come up again. No, okay, now it's just coming up with a shortcode, so that's not working. Right, let's go to create a new form with Formidable. This is the Formidable sidebar here, and these are the options. Pre-built forms, they've even got a contact us form, which is great, so I'm going to say we'll just use that. And the only thing I want to get rid of is this last name. I think name is enough, so let me just delete. Click the delete button, click OK. Okay, and that disappears. So we've got name, email, website, subject, message, and then we have the captures. For the captures to work, we have to set up a public and private key. I'm going to click the create button here. Okay, and that's automatically put me on the settings tab. I'm going to go back to the build tab again, just so I can go to this Formidable settings that they're talking about there. Okay, and if you scroll down to the reCAPTCHA, you see there's a public key and a private key that you need. Now, I need to go to the free CAPTCHA key website, and I'm going to type in my domain, create key, and you can see it's created a public key and a private key, which I've blurred out because these are important to me and you don't need to see them. So I just need to copy these and paste them into the Formidable form. Okay, so they're pasted in there, and then I just need to get to the bottom, update the options, and now the capture should work. So let me go back to the forms. Close some of these that I don't need. Let's go back to the forms. Here's my contact form. This is roughly what it's going to look like. All I need to do is grab the shortcode here, go over to the edit page. I'm going to get rid of the contact form 7 one. Oops, I've just copied that by mistake. Let me go back, copy, paste in the new one, click on update. And then if we go over to the contact page, I can refresh, and we should have the Formidable Pro form. Here we go. Okay, we've got some unwanted text there, but that's easy enough. Got the form, room for the message, and then a submit button. Let me just go back to the form and see if I can. Here we go. First, let's delete that. Okay. Now you can see that in these options here there's a check next to required, which means the name is required. Email address, let me just go down here, is required as well. If we go down to website, this isn't required, and you can see that's unchecked. This is all done automatically in the template that they've set up, and the asterisk next to subject and message tells me that that's already required as well. Okay, I'm just going to click on update. We'll go back, refresh, and that first should then disappear. Okay, there we go. So there's a very simple contact form done with this new plugin. That was easy. Now, I know a number of people are interested in a guest post plugin where you can get people to, or visitors on your site to submit content to your site, and this is the perfect plugin for it. I'm going to set up a guest post form and show you some of the more advanced features of Formidable Pro. Okay, let's build the guest posting submission form. Now, the first thing we need to do is think through what it is exactly that we want to post on our website. Now, I've been thinking about this, and for every guest post, the post needs a title, obviously. It needs the content of the article. Now, you could include an image in there if the person is if the person has an image to upload. You do have problems then that you've got to check to make sure they've got copyright and everything. So in this particular case, I'm going to leave that out, but I will show you how to add an image, because what I would like to do is I would like to include a author bio box and an image of the author. So I want that to be included on the page. If I accept the guest post, then that's what I want on the page. I also need the guest poster to select a category for the post. Now, I could change that myself if I decide that they haven't chosen the correct one, but I'll offer the categories that I have on my site for guest posts, and they can choose the one that best suits, or at least they think the best suits. So that's what I want on my guest posting format. That's the information I need to collect. So let's click Add New. And we're going to start with a blank form, and I'm going to call it guest posting form. Now, I could start building it straight away, but what I want to do is I want to just create the form, save it, and if we go back to the forms screen now, you can see that the guest posting form is here. If I click on that, I can edit it. Now, over on this side, you can see a shortcode. Now, let's just copy that shortcode, and I'm going to create a new page. Submit your guest posts. I'm going to paste in that shortcode and publish. Now I'm going to, just to make the form stand out a little bit more, I'm going to get rid of the sidebar on that page. Okay, and then we can view the page, so I can keep that open and we can have a look. There's nothing on it yet because I haven't got a form. Okay, whoops, you did not add any fields to your form. Go back and add some. Okay, so let's go and do that. Let's go back to my guest post form, and we're going to edit that. So the first thing I want to put up is the name of the person. So I can just click on single line text and type in a title for it. This is a required field, so I can click this little arrow here to enter the options, and these are the options for the field, you can see. And underneath here I'm going to say no, I don't need to, but well, let's just do it. Okay, and what that will do, if I save the form, let's just update it, and we can go back and have a look and see what that has done. You can see that we've got the field now, your name, and the note that I put underneath. So you can put description or instructions underneath each field. That field is very long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the options, and under the CSS class layouts, over here now we've got this tab that's just opened, layout, and I'm going to say I want it in the first, let's say first half. What that's going to do is it's going to put it in the first half of this form, so it's going to only extend halfway across. Let's just refresh that. Okay, there we've got that now. Now, the next thing, I want to allow the user to upload an image of themselves. And again, I'm going to make this required so that they do upload it. The only thing that I would like this to do, which I haven't found a way of doing yet, is to limit the size of uploads or limit the dimensions of uploads, certainly the size of uploads in megabytes. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put a note, please use images of 50 by 70 pixels only, please. Oh, I already put a please there. And let's just update. We can go back and have a quick look at the form, see how that's coming along. Okay, so now we've got the upload where they can choose the file, got the dimensions down there. Now I want them to have a bio, and I could just have a plain text bio, but I want to allow them to put an external link into the bio. In particular, you know, guest posting. If you can offer a guest poster the ability to link back to their Google Plus profile, then that's a big bonus because they can claim authorship of their content on your site. So I'm going to put, whoops, I just put the wrong thing there. I put a website URL. Let's delete that. I'm going to put a rich text box, and I'm going to call it author bio. And just for down here, sorry, the description, I'm going to just say short 100 to 150 word bio. This is an essential again, so I want to go to the required field. Okay, and I can close that up. So we've got the name, we've got the photo, and we've got the author bio. Next thing we need is a title for the article. And again, this is a required field. Then we need, well, we need to have the article itself, but I also want to have an abstract, an excerpt or a summary of the article, because I'm going to use that as the excerpt in my WordPress, as the excerpt in the WordPress post. Article summary. Let's a short 100 to 150 word summary of your article. Oh, let's just change that to 2 to 3 sentence summary of your article. Okay, so again, I'm just providing instructions here for the user. Under the options, I'm going to click required because I want to make it a requirement of the submission. Okay, so we've got the title, got the article, summary, and now the article, which we're going to use rich text so they can actually format it with headers and bullets and so on. Your article. And this again is required. Now the reason I'm checking required for these, I know it sounds obvious that these are required, but when the visitor submits the form, it will check to make sure that all of the required fields have been filled in, and if it hasn't, then it will ask them to fill them in. Now on this one, I'm going to also change the field size because this is the article. They may want a bit more than the default 7 rows visible, so let's change that to 20 rows visible. Let's just update that. Okay, and we'll go over to the form and just have a look, see how that's looking now. Okay, so we've got the name. Choose a photo of themselves, author bio, Incidentally, these titles of these fields, you can change the font of them, you can increase them and change the font. So I would actually probably make them a bit bigger. Then put the author bio in, title of the article, an article summary, and then when it comes down to the article, we should have rich text there. There must be a conflict with one of my other plugins. I'll have a look at that later with the instructions here. So we've got guest post, we've got the name, author, and bio, so we can have a bio box at the end. Title of the article, summary of the article, the article. The only thing we need now is we need to have the spam checker thing put in. So let's add the reCAPTCHA. And you can change the colors of that, but I'm going to leave that as it is. Okay, and we need to have a category. Now, I'm not going to add the category in this screen. I could add checkboxes and then go elsewhere to add the actual category information. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the settings tab now. At the moment, all we've got is a form, and that form doesn't do anything. So I'm going to go and say on the settings form, create posts, and we're going to check this box, create posts, WordPress post page or custom post type with this form. And what we want to do is when somebody submits it, we want to create a post. We've got a choice of post or pages there. For the post title, we're going to use the title of your article. That's one of the fields we put into the form. For the post content, we're going to actually leave that blank. Now, you could put your article there and it would just use that as the post content. However, I want to customize the post content. I want to have the post the article, and then I want to have the author bio box. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. For the excerpt, we want to use the summary of the article. The rest of it we can leave as it is. Generate the slug from the post title, date published. This one we want to create a draft because I want to approve it. If you've got somebody who you trust and you know an outsourcer or something, and you create a form for them and you trust them, then you can have their form set so it automatically publishes. But I want to create a draft. And then down here we want to add the categories. So let's do that. And at the moment we don't have anything on the form to allow the visitor to select a category. So this box here gives us the option of creating a new one, a new checkbox field, and we want it to be the category. Now you can also have it so they can choose tags as well, which is useful, or post format, but category or tags, those are the two most useful. And at the moment it will choose all of the categories on my site, but I want to exclude most of them. So if you click the exclude options and then you check all, because this will exclude any of the ones that are checked, and then you would just select the category that you want them or allow them to post in. Now I don't have any, I'm actually not going to allow guest posts on this site, so I don't have any categories set up for that, but I'm going to just unselect general and unselect reviews, so people can either submit to general or reviews. Let's just update the form. Okay, and now if we go back to the submit guest post, let's just refresh this. And you can see now we've got the category selector down here where they can select one or other or both. Typically I only allow posts in a single category, so I can change that, and also I want to change the order slightly. I want to put this capture below the categories, and I can do that just by dragging it. Let's just update the form. Okay, so our form I think is complete. The only thing I need to sort out is this rich text editor is not showing the buttons, and I have a feeling it's something to do with the theme that I'm using. I've got some strange customizations going on, but it gives me an opportunity to show you how flexible this plugin is, because although this plugin here, this editor, which is the tiny MCE editor, isn't showing, the Formidable Forms does allow me to use a different editor for this. If I go to the author bio, this should be a rich text. Click down on the options, and I'm going to select the nice edit for that, and also for the article itself, and then just click on update, and then we'll go back and try refreshing. Okay, so we've now got a rich text editor. So this form is now ready to be used for submissions. The only thing is we haven't yet, if somebody submits here, we haven't yet told the submit button what to do with the information that's being submitted. So we need to go back to the settings. What we did do is we said the post title will be taken from, down to create posts here, post title will be taken from the title of the article. We have selected your article, so it will actually create the post, but we want to modify this. So I'm going to go down here, and this is very easy. We need to use these IDs over here to state what we want to appear in the post content. Now you can use HTML here. So the first thing I want to do is say let's add the article, and then underneath the article we want to include the author image and bio box. Okay, so that's just we're going to add the author bio box in a minute. What I suggest you do though is let's go down and save it first, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit a post, and then we can have a look at it, and then we can come back here, we can modify this, and it will automatically modify the post that's been submitted, so we can sort of work on this content formatting as we look at a real post that's been submitted. So let me just go in, and I'm going to fill in my details. Okay, it's not going to be a real article. I've just copied some content from a previous article of mine. Let's just put in a little bit of formatting. H2, and we'll put in category. Let's type in the number 312-489-2895. Submit. Okay, your responses were successfully submitted. This thing here, this message here, is the default one that comes with the plugin. You can change that. Okay, let's go back into here. Let's go up to my posts. Open that in a new window. And this is a draft at the moment because we told the plugin to set it as a draft. And we can preview it, see what it's going to look like. Okay, backlinks in 2014. Here's the guest post. Title put in. The one thing we're missing is we don't have the author bio box. Well, we do on here. This is my box down here, which is on all pages of my site. But I want to put an author bio box underneath here. So let's go back to the form and we'll edit that. Let's put in, just to see how it's going to work, let's put in the photo followed by author bio, and we'll save that. It's not going to work very well, but let's just save it and see what it now looks like. If I go back and I can refresh. Okay, see it's got a URL of the actual link to the image. It doesn't show the image itself. So what you need to do instead is you need to create the HTML. So let's just do that. Image source equals, and then so the image source is that URL of the image. I'm going to put a style command in here to say that I want a margin of 20 pixels around the image, and we'll put an alt tag as well, alt equals, and for the alt tag we're going to put in the name of the author, and I'm also going to put in a class equals align left. Now what this will do is it will put the image to the left and it will wrap any text or the following text around it so that it's nicely formatted. And that's it. I'm going to just close that tag. Oops, wrong way. And let's save it and see what's happened now. Go back here, we'll refresh. Scroll down, there we go, we've got the image and we've got this bio floating around the other side. If the bio had been longer it would have continued floating, but it's quite nice to have these like buttons and share buttons right next to the author's face anyway. So that's basically it. Now a few things you can do. That is a fully functioning form now, but a few things you could do is you've got conditionals over here, and this is something I find very useful. For example, if your form, in our form we said that you had to have an image and the bio. Now it might be that you want to also offer an image in the main text as well, and you could do it the same way. You could say in your form you would just go over there and have a look. Okay, we could say that there's a title, we want to add, and all these are added at the bottom. We're going to add an image to go with the article. Okay, so and we're going to embed it in the article, and we're going to say this isn't required, so somebody might have it or they might not. Okay, let's just save this. I'm going to go back in and just, well, I can just leave that for the moment. One thing I have done is I've closed the submit your guest posts, close the page. Let me just open that again and view it. That's what I want. Okay, so now we've got this extra field, your article, we've got an image to embed in the article. So let's submit. I'm going to submit another article. I'm going to pause the video until I've done it, and then we'll have a look at how we can use conditionals and embed the image if there is one submitted. Okay, I've gone back in and I've added a guest post again. This time I've added an image of a giant panda, and let me just type in this 343993332 and click submit. And then if we go back and look at the posts on the website, we'll see, here we go, it's been successfully submitted, so we should find it here. There we go, guest posting. I've actually still got the old one there. Let me just trash that while I remember, and we'll go and have a look at this new guest post and click the preview button. Okay, if we scroll down, we can see I've added a bit more of an author bio. I've also, just to highlight the fact that you can include links to your social media on there, and that's something that guest posters would like, so we'll encourage them. You can also link to their Google Plus profile, which is another thing that guest posters like because they can claim authorship of your article. Now, the one thing we haven't done is we haven't inserted the image. Now, I did submit an image to this, so we need to go back. We need to go back to the form settings, create posts, and what we've got here is the post and then the author image aligned left and the bio flowing around it. But what we need to do is we basically want to embed an image. So let's just copy this code here and let's paste that in, and the image number was 97. That was the photo of yourself. We don't want that one. We want the image to embed in the article, which is 105. So let's just change this to 105. And we will get rid of, in fact, let's put the title of the article as the alt text. Okay, now the problem is, if somebody hasn't submitted an image, it means we're going to have some code in our post that we don't really want. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to do a conditional here. I'm going to say if it's not blank. Now what isn't blank? Well, if they've submitted an image which is 105, if 105 is not blank, then anything that goes between these square brackets here should be carried out. Okay, and what we want to carry out there is the insertion of the image to embed in the article. Okay, so let's just check. Update. This is my article. Let's refresh, and now we have the image embedded in the article. So hopefully you can see the power of this. I've done a very simple one there, but you can do all sorts of conditionals. I've only shown you a small amount of what this plugin can actually do as well. We haven't even looked at any of the other options, customizations and so on, but I'm sure you can see there that this plugin can be used to create forms for just about anything you want to do on your website.